All right, guys, here we are again, another live show. We got Chad and James again. Today we're going to be doing just a little bit of a general talk and talking about going to Chad's area from the scout trip. I'm sure you guys seen the video. Putting the apples out and some of the findings that have occurred. Because we've done, Chad has went there a few more times, and then me and Chad and special guests actually went out and did a little bit of scouting in a new area, and then went to Chad's area and put out apples out. And then the next day, Chad had an interesting find. So we're gonna get into all that. So right now, let's talk about the scout trip. So James, what was the climax, or what was the what did you observe during the scout trip that caught your eye? Because there's a few things that happened to you, you know.
Would you want me to just talk about what happened, or like?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about what happened. What happened to you? Let's start. The feeling you got. And
I mean, like, you want me to give like the full story of like going there and then like follow up of what happened, or just like the general?
The general. Give the summary, because I think most of the viewers have watched it. If not, they're gonna go back and watch it. It's the full scout trip video.
You started getting too close to where their den area is, and me and Chad started feeling like really anxiety heavy, and I had a loss of breath, and like right before we got to the main area, we were at around the gifting area where this occurred, and yeah, we continued. I'll just go to the other one. Blake was filming us and talking to us, and out of the corner of my eye, I see something moving behind a tree. I couldn't tell if it was like my imagination or not, so I watched it like a little bit more, and I just see this black thing just go from right to left behind the tree like really fast. And I thought it was like 3 foot, maybe 4 foot tall, but until you get to the actual area itself, we did a size comparison, and it was about the size of Chad, maybe a little bit taller. And Chad's around 6'7". I don't know exactly his height.
Yeah, we'll get into just a little bit ahead of yourself.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
so you had seen something. Yeah, so you're watching it, and then what happened? Is that when you both had seen it, or did you turn away for a little bit more and then you look back at it, or what?
I just saw it, and then I think Chad said something, and I was like, "Yeah, did you see that too?"
Chad.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, Chad, do you want to jump in real quick and describe what you had seen?
Well, I had brought you out into the nest area, and we had found depressions and things like that. And then you had went and we had felt weird while this is going on. But then at one point you had gone up to what I told you was their actual den. You didn't go in, but you went up to it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you went up to it. Yeah, and things. James and I at that time were feeling really weird. Well, then you had came back. Yeah, you had came back, and we were doing other things and looking at things, and James and I were still feeling weird, and we were hearing something. Remember, we heard some crunching, but like, I don't know, man, a minute or something after we were hearing that crunching, James and I, pretty much at the same time, had seen this black object move from where we were facing towards that pine from the right to the left. And can't say what it was, man. It was just something. It was dark. Was it a shadow? A bird flying over the sky, casting a shadow? Who knows? But we had already heard noise. but we didn't hear it move. It didn't make a sound when it moved, but we had heard the noise prior. Like you had heard it, Blake, correct?
Yes, we heard. It sounded like creeping up. We heard it earlier when we were actually on the other side of where it would have been. We heard it creeping up towards us, and then when we were actually in the nesting area, it would have been the other side of it. It crept back towards us, and you guys had seen it, and I filmed just before and just after, literally 30 seconds in between. You guys seen it, you know.
What
My
really
foot.
makes this what really makes this interesting, though, is the fact that both Blake and I saw something. We had heard something. We had had this feeling of, call it whatever you want, infrasound. I don't know.
Yes,
We
you and
just
James.
had weird
Yep.
had weird feelings. But the fact that when we saw it, you go running in immediately. We pointed out immediately, and you go running in. And as you're running in and you start getting in, and it's thick, and you have to slow down, and you start looking at the ground. And now all of a sudden, you find what appears to be a very viable print of some sort, whether it be a hand or a foot of a young one, hand of a big one. We don't know, but it really appears to be viable. And then we find that, and isn't it weird how we were just all of a sudden so distracted? Our whole attention was off of what we had just seen. And all of us are just locked in on this print. I mean, why did that happen? Why didn't we? What made us not continue to pursue? It was just like you got in there, and here we are. We spent 8 minutes sitting around that print, and then we forgot about our whole objective of pursuing whatever we saw.
Well, for me, real quick, and I'll give it back to James. Yeah, you guys have seen it, and I was just like, I was frustrated myself that I wasn't filming it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go right over there, and yeah, I walked over to where it was. I think I was about 20 feet, and looked to the ground, and it was very easily discernible that there was a print there. And to me, it felt like I should stay here at the print because it's right here in front of me. If I went and go chasing this black figure that you guys had seen, I might not see anything. I might not hear anything. I might not get anything of any value. But this in front of me is of value, and it's right here. And I didn't want to just lose it, or for it to get damaged or anything in all the commotion. So, yeah, we have debated about it for a while now, and it seems like, to me, I think it's still a hand track. It could be a juvenile footprint, like you guys are saying, but when you and James had went back the next day, or a couple days later, 2 days later, or 3 days later, you guys went to the exact spot, and you guys were doing a comparison. And Chad is 6'7", 6'8", and so you 6'8". You went right there because it's easily found this pine tree. You went right there, and what did you discover? And then real quickly, James, what did you think about the comparison? But what'd you go over there? What'd you discover, Chad?
Well, because we never made it there the day where we were.
Yeah, James we never moved past that track too far past it, and right by that pine tree. Really, I discovered
the ground drops down, and I'm standing within 15 foot of a tree, and I'm 6'8", and all you can see is barely part of my shoulders and my head. And I look like really little. Now, this thing didn't look huge, okay? But with what I recall seeing and looking at the photo of me, even though I might not be in the exact spot, this thing was bigger than I am and girthier than I am. Whatever this shape was. The shape was larger than me, and I was within. I guarantee we were close to where we saw it and where James stood when he took the photograph. We were We were there. We were really close.
Within a couple feet of yes. James, what'd you think about the comparison to your initial thought?
I was pretty surprised because I thought it would have been way shorter than what I thought it was.
And it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So what'd you think at that point?
Well, I thought
Were
the only
you
thing it could have been was Bigfoot then, because the size of the what we saw compared to Chad.
right? Okay,
Unless
so
it was
what?
something else, but
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Well, let's go into it. Was it another person out there who walked over there and then kind of hid away as you guys looked? Was it another person?
Unless that person is really tall, then it's possible.
Come on, man.
Really
What are
tall.
they doing? They freaking sitting out in the woods waiting for us to come out there, man. We would hear
Hey, man,
them
there's
coming.
crazy people out
Look
there.
at all the noise
well,
we make getting in there. We make a ton of noise.
We heard the creeping up, right? So did a person sneak up on us and sneak out of the area?
Person's gonna be louder than they are. When they creep up, it's much. They're more stealthy. They still make noise though.
Yeah, I feel confident it wasn't a person because again, they're too loud, and there's no footprints of another person over there.
People wear colors. You see colors. The colors people wear aren't achromatic. They don't blend in. If you're
Right,
wearing
right,
a
and you
t-shirt,
know, you'd have to be an expert ninja to have done what this thing had did to us. And
Yeah.
honestly, for a person, okay, so wasn't a person. What about a black bear that are very rare this far south of Michigan? We get them, but every couple of years they come down, but they're very rare. Was it a black bear we stumbled across?
No, because of the area. It's more it's a small place, so I don't think there'd be bear out there. But then again, I didn't think there'd be Bigfoot out there, so I guess it's possible.
Yeah, okay.
But we didn't see any signs of bear like prints or even scratch marks, so
Chad, what about you?
can't really say.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, bear.
I don't mean
bear
to
in
interrupt.
an area of this size and the amount that you and I and the other people are walking. See, bear don't have the intelligence. A Bigfoot has the intelligence to not leave a track on the main trails. They do. They have that intelligence. How they do it, I don't know. But obviously, they do
Yes,
it.
they do.
Yeah. A bear doesn't.
They're avoiding
A
us on
bear has
purpose.
to
Yeah.
go to the water source. Okay. A bear has no choice but to go to that river, basically, at certain points of the night, and a bear has no choice but to cross these trails. And you see
Right.
how easy humans leave footprints in it. We would find bear prints in it if there were bear in this area. We would.
Yes. Go ahead.
Don't you? Yeah. Okay. You said yes. I was about to ask. Don't you agree? If there were bear out there eating these apples and doing this and us seeing them,
Yeah, it
we
wasn't a bear, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because if it was a black bear that close to us, we were talking. We were hearing this and we were talking. If a black bear's walking up on three people, that's not a good sign usually, you know.
Yeah.
And this would have been it's middle of winter, so I feel confident that if a black bear it was fairly close, you know, 100 feet or so. I mean, it was close.
The black bear was 150.
If it was a black bear, it was close, right?
It was a black bear.
Now
boy.
I know. I walked right over there. Now a black bear would have aggressively made it known that it didn't want me there by chomping on its teeth or huffing
or it would have took off
charging,
running, crashing through the woods, and it would have sounded like a cow flying through the woods.
Exactly. It would have kind of it would have went through the trees and brushes and made noise, not stealthily hid. And if it stood up and
run, it's gonna run. It's not gonna slowly just walk away.
Yeah, if it was standing up and looking at you when you guys had seen it, and you guys look at it, it wouldn't have ran. It wouldn't have ducked and hid away. It would have kept looking at you guys, right? It wasn't a black bear. There's just no way. I didn't find any black bear tracks anywhere near there or any other area when we went there. So,
You've been there
to
multiple
me,
times.
yeah, to me, it was a Sasquatch. You guys had likely seen a Sasquatch. That's what Chad had experienced several years back. He has had a few encounters in there. Later in the video, we went to another spot where you had seen one. So the area has them. And okay, so Anne, it wasn't a black bear. So you guys did the recreation. It reaffirmed to you guys that it definitely was most likely a Sasquatch, right? You guys put out apples, right? And so
Yes.
you guys put some apples out, and then Chad, you went back out the next day or a couple of days later, and you had found
Within
that
48 hours this time.
48 hours.
Yeah, within 48 hours. I didn't go out the next day. I went out the morning after.
Okay, and then how many apples were gone?
We put 7 in the gifting area, and
Yep.
5 were
5.
gone. Yep. And then we put the rest of the bag, which was 5. There was 12 in the bag, and we didn't put them in the tree this time. We hung these on really super high branches. I mean, really high, difficult branches. James, you got video of it.
Yeah.
Some of these.
Yes, James has video on his channel called the Caller Kid. I'll put a link in this video too. The Caller Kid.
Yeah.
I'll put a link in it. You guys watch his video because it'll show him putting more apples up and stuff and doing the recreation, and so it has all that evidence. Okay, so you guys put them up. You guys made it even harder than last time. Yeah, I know you guys were trying
this at the special tree area by the den, and so when I went back like 2 days after 48 hours roughly, 5 of the 7 were gone from the gifting area. Then I got to the special tree, and all 5 were gone there. Deer aren't
all 5 were gone.
Yeah, deer are not going up 10 feet and getting this stuff. And if they are, they're breaking the tree to knock the tree down to get it. They are.
That's right. Okay. Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
Raccoons aren't climbing this stuff and taking the thing off the branch and not leaving evidence on the ground. There's no evidence left. There's no little pieces on the ground. There's no apple.
Right.
Nothing.
There's no half-eaten chunks.
It's gone. Okay, so I could see. Well, one time maybe they ate it off, but 3 times in the last month of putting out 12, 24, 36, and 9 is 45 apples in the last month. There's not even a smidget of a scrapling left. No, that's not.
That's right.
These apples
none of the apples, none of the areas.
They're being taken. They're not even being eaten there. Okay.
Now,
they're being taken and carried somewhere else and eaten somewhere else.
If you guys watch the video, James's video, and my video, the scout trip, with Chad and James, we had stuck them literally the apple into this twig, and it's pretty small, and none of the branches were broken. Where the apple has been gone, taken off. None of the branches are ever broken. And you would think a big fat raccoon or a possum or anything climbing that tree besides a squirrel would break those branches. A squirrel probably would not, but again, you never found half-eaten apples. Now, in the past years, you have found half-eaten apples by squirrels. So
not even
different.
half-eaten, man. A bite or 2 out of them is basically what it is. You come there and there'll be still an apple hanging in the tree, and there'll be like a little bite out of it, or 2 bites out of it.
Okay, so it's definitely different. Easily.
Yeah. It's identifiable. Yeah, and what is there a colony of 5,000 rats out there that are climbing the trees just devouring this shit? No, there's not. Okay, because this is what it would take. It would take a colony of hundreds and hundreds of rats to devour this out of these tree branches and leave no signs.
A raccoon, I think, would break the branches. We put you, especially when you guys went out there, put the apples on. You put them on some
12
small
apples.
twigs.
Is a raccoon going to eat? Okay, is a raccoon going to eat 7 or 5 apples either way overnight? Even if
some
there's
people would
3
say there's a
raccoons?
family of raccoons, right? Because they sometimes they travel in families.
Well, don't you think
But let's jump
sign-ups?
forward real quick.
Okay.
All right. So you and James put the apples there. Then you had checked them. Did you put apples again that day, or did you had skipped and not put apples?
I skipped and did not put apples.
Okay. So then me and you.
Back to James, after James and I, there was 2 apples left. I put 7 in the gifting tree.
Right.
Put 5 that this time we, instead of putting in that tree how we did last time, the last 2 times you were with me, instead of doing that, I hung them out there too. So I go back within like 48 hours and 5 are gone in the gifting area and all 5 are gone out of the tree that are by the special tree. Okay. The next time I went out was with you.
Go ahead, James.
Blake.
Where we put the 5 apples around the other gifting tree. That we also found footprints below
the nesting area. Yep.
Around that tree as well.
When you guys had checked, you guys had said you had found impressions around that.
Yeah, the leaf litter was actually moved. Like things were like walking, and like when they would walk, it would move the leaves. Like they were like almost like kicking their feet. And a couple of them, you could like see the leaves were moved. Wasn't just like, you know how the depressions we were finding in the den area, how it was just depressions. This is still right by the den area at that tree, but this is like there was leaf movement. Like when they were walking around, like they were walking with force.
You could actually tell it was scuffled up. Yeah, if you watch my video called the Scout Trip with Chad and James, when the first impressions we find before the actual good track, it's just leaves that are pressed in that look like a foot, and there's no viable toes or anything, but it looks pressed down, and it's all in this just one little spot area. So when you guys had went back, this was a little bit different, kind of same pressed down impression, but scuffled up, and it was all around where the apples were. So that's very interesting, and you can check that out in James's video.
They weren't big either, and they were what, like 10 inches.
Maybe they were trying to hide their tracks, because we were looking at them, or trying to, or because we were looking at tracks and deer tracks. Maybe they understood we were looking for tracks, or.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So then Chad had checked those, and then so we had went back recently, actually just Wednesday, right?
Yes.
We took a special guest. We took a special guest out there. I don't know if you want to name them or not, but I'll be dropping the video here. I'll probably drop it Friday.
We took multiple guests out, and most don't want their name out there because they like to stay private.
They and real respectfully keep them, but there's one, and he's a pretty famous guy from Michigan.
Yeah, we took a real trooper out there, man, a Michigan Bigfoot historian, Bob Daigle, and it was incredible.
Man himself from Michigan.
It was incredible.
Real quick, if you guys don't know him, I think a lot of people in Michigan, researchers, should know him. Bob Daigle's a great Michigan researcher. He's how old is he again? I keep forgetting.
64?
74, 64?
Or no, 70, 76? Yeah, 70.
Right. Well, he's mid-70s, and he's a trooper, dude. I hope I'm that good of shape when I'm that age.
Yeah,
let's just say that.
He did.
So anyways, for people who do not know who Bob Daigle is, or Deagle, He has the website called MichiganBigfoot.org. If you put .org and Michigan Bigfoot Research, you should be his website. He's been doing this for a lot of years, all over Michigan. He's been he has a lot of good evidence, and that he kind of keeps private and stuff. A lot of stuff is on VHS, and he converted to DVD, and he has a lot of stuff. And he's been to a lot of different other states, and just a wonderful wealth of knowledge, and a great guy. He's at a lot of conferences. Great guy to be with. Great guy. Amazing. And he was just trucking along, and so we took him out to a new spot, and then took him out actually into Chad's area too, and
He made
so,
the whole thing.
So-
I was impressed, and I gotta say, I was impressed.
yes, he is quite the guy, and man, he can just keep up with you too at 76 or mid 70s. It's crazy.
I think it was like close to 5 miles, and Blake thinks it was just over 4. It was in there somewhere.
yeah.
And he actually walked.
It was enough,
we did.
more than. So, anyways, I think we can spoil a little bit, I guess, right? Because you
Yeah.
made a live video, and it's obviously already out on the internet or Facebook.
No,
and
I
my
almost
video,
shared it with you.
my
I think.
no, oh really?
Okay.
You didn't
Go
share
ahead.
it
Yeah,
on?
go
I
ahead.
thought it was live.
No,
Okay,
it's okay.
all right.
I'll share it.
All right,
So go ahead. Spoiler
I don't know.
alert.
Spoiler alert. I don't know. I'm excited about the kind of findings, and it's not like, I don't know, right? My video, I'm making a video with Bob, right? Bob's in it, and mostly about our trip out, and some of the stories that Bob has told. And we hung up. We gifted again, and we gifted a lot this time, and we gifted put 9 apples in the nesting area where that tree's at, and we put 12 apples in the actual gifting tree, right?
Yep. Hung them.
And yes, we hung them, and Chad made them. I mean, he really got one and stretched it down, and so it's really up there. I made it really hard. And one of Bob's friends actually put gummy bears, half a bag of gummy bears, inside the plastic container where you had used to put berries, or had berries. So it was already there. He put gummies in there. And then he hung a rock, a little green rock, on a little red ribbon among the apples, right? So everything's hung up. And we went to the next area and put some more apples out, and we showed everyone the area, and Chad told some encounter stories, and so you guys can watch that when it drops. I'll be dropping it the Friday. Still working on it and stuff, but it'll be out Friday. But Chad, we can spoil it because Chad, you already made a live video, so you can make that public, and then everyone can watch everything. You just gotta find it where you find it, right? So go ahead, Chad. So we had put all that stuff up, and Chad went to check it the next day.
This time it was within 24 hours. So for some reason, something told me not to go in the normal way I go in, the easy way to go to the gifting area. Normally I go to the gifting area first, and then I go into their special tree area that I've started to leave gifts at. But this time I decided...
It's kind of what you've always done.
Yeah, this time I decided to come in a back way because, well, we just had a special group of 5 really nice researchers out there that...
Yep.
Okay, so I decided to go in so that I'm not breaking down this entrance where I normally go in anymore, to make it obvious for people to see to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Because it happens. The more you walk in it, the more you can tell it's
muddy and stuff.
Yeah, it's a trail. So I come in the back way, and I get to the den area first. So I start filming in the den area, and everything is there. nothing is touched, which is really the last time we did it. They were all gone.
Right.
Everything
They've been
yeah.
picked at.
This time,
Easily,
nothing was even touched. And so we did it twice, and they were gone. We one time put it where I just put these 9 apples, and the time when James and I went, we hung them high on trees.
Yep.
They were gone. You know, they were pretty much who knows when, but I was out there within 2 days on those, and 1 day on this, and it's all still there. And this rock we left, and a half a bag of gummy bears. So I'm like, wow. It surprised me. I expected something to be gone.
Right.
Even a wild animal taking a bite out of something, but no, nothing.
You would think, right?
Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, and I've got this all on video. I'm walking to try to find my way, the back way in to my gifting area, which was difficult because I'm just not used to walking in that way. I got a little bit turned around. Sick. Yeah, I got a little bit I got a little bit turned around. I was off by like, I don't know, 70 yards. And, you know, I'm getting activity. I'm hearing noises. I'm hearing things walking. I mean, I even have a pretty decent one time. I hear a crunch and I turn my phone
right. You definitely got a good one, yeah.
And then it crunches again, like another crunch, and it's like it's clear as day, and it's plain as day. It's not me. Okay, it's not.
I heard it's good.
And so now I'm spending a few minutes, like I'm like filming the area, hoping maybe I caught something. I don't know. It's never even been reviewed. Maybe I did catch something, and I'm listening. Because I'm semi-intimidated. I really am. I'm semi-intimidated. I'm all by myself, and there's definitely something walking, and I'd been hearing it before, and now I'm hearing it. It was loud. It was clear and loud that my phone recorded it. But it quit moving. Birds were calling at it and stuff. They did. Birds started calling at it. There weren't birds calling before it. Before I started hearing them, there wasn't really... Before I started hearing it loud, there wasn't birds calling. Birds started calling at it. I eventually got bored because it wasn't moving. I figured I'd move and see if I could trigger it to move to follow me so I could hear it again. It didn't. I eventually found the gifting area. And in the gifting area, we had 12 apples hung. Okay. Mm-hmm. There were 5 left.
Gummy bears. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there were 7, 5 gone. There were a half a bag of gummy bears gone. We had hung a rock on a piece of the marker flag the park puts out there. We hung it on a tree that had never been hung on before. That got broken off, and it took me a long time to find it. And I searched around like. It didn't just fall on the ground. It was like 6 to 8 foot away underneath stuff. Yeah. Something broke it off and tossed it, basically, is what it appears like. I don't know. Right. I don't want to take all the time. Go ahead, man.
Well, it's a little spoiler alert. That's what happened. He went back, and for some reason they maybe. I've been thinking about it a little bit. Why they touched the other apples first, or at all? And it could be a few things. Maybe they're saving it for the next day or whatever, because you haven't gone back every single day to check the apples. So maybe it's something like that I've been thinking about, or it could be a few things. What's interesting is the actual gifting tree where you usually hang the apples. They ate all the gummy bears, which is weird. It's a new item. They obviously liked it. But a small game animal is not going to be able to do that without knocking the container out of the tree. I mean, it was kind of barely.
You both have seen the container, and I saw how.
And it's been filmed. And it's filmed. No, go ahead.
No, I saw. I mean, I saw how they were put in there. Nothing's gonna get all those gummy bears there without
It was
knocking it out of
exactly. Yeah, and it wasn't like chewed up or anything. The container wasn't. I mean, so a hand scooped up the gummies out, and they took the apples and they left. They left 5, right? They left 5.
Yeah, they took 7 and left 5 apples.
Which is a number that kind of keeps coming up for you, Chad, right?
No, either sometimes I'll take them all, but over a long time of me gifting there over 100 times and going back within the next day, which I did a lot of times back a couple years ago, it was always like there was either I would always count the apples. That's what you do as a researcher. You have to pay attention to everything you're doing. You have to know where you left what, how many of this, how many of that. So typically a bag of apples is always 12, typically. But there would always either be 5 taken out of it or 5 left. Not always. I mean, just a lot. Too much. What's the word I'm looking for?
More than a coincidence.
It's not coincidental. It's not coincidental. Yeah. It's too consistently happens, and it's happening now again. Now that after I was gone for 2 years and I'm back, now they're getting into the same multiples of either what they take or what they leave.
It's interesting that it's kind of hard. It's really hard to understand what it means or anything, but the number, whether they're taking 5 or leaving 5, it's interesting. And they, so they took the gummy bears. What the really interesting part is that rock is they snapped that branch off with that rock and threw it to the side, cast it off to the side.
Just like
Chad had found it. Chad barely found it, honestly.
But I searched. I looked hard. It's on video of me.
Chad has it. Chad grabbed it and he took it home. Now, obviously, they did not like this. They didn't want it. They didn't want nothing to do with it. I think that's a clear sign to us that we probably shouldn't hang another rock in that tree. They literally snapped off the
I think it's a pink
flag.
I think
it's not like they took off the flag with the rock off the branch. Like, because they take the apples off the branches. They don't break the branches when they take the apples off.
Yep.
They broke the branch for this item. So that means that I think they really don't like that. It's not like they just took it off and threw it. They broke the branch. So it must, to me, as a meaning that they don't like it. But they didn't mess with the other rock on the other one. So I don't know. I might have made a mistake. I might have made a mistake. That might have been me. I whipped out my laptop. I was trying to download some things. I had some technical difficulties. Trying to fix my GoPro real quick. Download stuff off the SD card so I could just... Anyways, I wasn't gonna have enough time. 20 minutes. We wouldn't have enough 20 minutes just to stay there. So, anyways, I think maybe that could have affected them, or I think that they're just saving the apples. But it doesn't explain why they didn't touch the rock, and they touched the rock in the other spot. So maybe I did something, freaked them out. I don't know. Maybe they're just waiting to eat the apples when they feel a couple days. So James, what do you think about what's been going on with all the gifting? From when you and me went out there, and what Chad has been going by himself, and then the findings that you've been hearing about today. Do you think it's animals? You think it's animals doing it? You think it's a bear? Because people say it's a bear. You think it's a person? What's going on? Because you went out there, you set those apples out, you checked the apples.
I don't think it's a bear. I was just messing around earlier.
No, I know.
I think maybe some of them have been taken by animals, but the majority has to be something tall and something with arms or opposable thumbs that could actually take them off the branch. So
without breaking them, yes.
Exactly. because some of the
Yes.
branches we put the apples on were like really short and slim. So if like a small animal was crawling across, it would just break off. And when we came back, the branches were all still there. So
Yes.
yeah,
I think that's a key thing because that rock was broken at the branch. What do you think about that? What do you think about that was broken off at the
I
branch?
think it either had to do with the ribbons or the flags around the area, or it had to do with gifting a rock in a food
Yes.
area, and they didn't like that.
That's another key feature is I didn't explain is that ribbon was actually a flag from the parks department that was hung up that we use. Maybe they got mad because of that or the rock. It's kind of hard to tell because if you don't have a communication going on other than with objects, it's hard to say, but it's interesting and it's not an animal in my opinion. Do you think animal? Why would an animal go out on a limb? Let's say it's a raccoon, right? Why would a raccoon go out on a limb, try to get that rock and break it, only to leave it on the ground and not mess with it? I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't know.
No, not
I'm
just
thinking,
leave it on the ground, man.
devil's
It was
advocate.
like
Skeptical
feet
skeptical
away.
mind. To me, that's
It was
Sasquatch behavior. There's nothing else that did it. It's intelligent. It's a clear communication of they don't want that. They don't like it. Clearly.
That's what I believe. They don't like those flags. Those flags are interfering with their privacy, and
Yeah.
we hung one on the gifting tree, and there's never been one on the gifting tree ever.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
maybe
there
that's
has,
it.
and they broke it off, but we hung one on the gifting tree, and it's broken off and
It's hard to
tossed.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, tossed
If
off
it
to
was
the side.
if it was that or if it was the rock or a combination of both, like they don't want that. They just want like the food, because they still took the food. They left some apples, but James, does that give you more like credence of it's a squatchy area? There might be what you had seen as a squatch because I know some you guys are kind of being skeptical about it because you kind of want to be scientific about it, right? I think we really want more evidence, even though I think we all three kind of know that they're there. From the
Something's
feelings
going
you
on.
had guys there, you had seen something. Both can't hallucinate at the same time. So
Yeah.
some people would say, you're hallucinating, but you both can't do that at the same time. Does that give a little bit more credence to what's been going on when you go out there?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit more.
I think it's just another
Yeah.
drop in the bucket that we're trying to fill. What about you, Chad? You've been out there the longest, have more experience than anyone else.
I know
You've seen
exactly
them.
what's out there, and I know what's out there. You're not. Nobody can tell me any different. They can believe what they want. Nobody
That's right.
can tell me they're not out there. I've been through enough with them. I've had 2 daylight close sightings there. I've had multiple encounters and been paralleled. I've been EMF poisoned more times than I'd care to talk about. I've been gifting them, and something's taking this stuff, and it's not freaking raccoons like some people want to say. They have built glyph stuff for me. They did in the past. They probably will this year. It's been 2 years. I mean, I've only been back there 5 times since I've been back in Michigan.
Just a handful.
Yeah, and so it is what it is. Believe what you want. I know what I know. I wouldn't keep going out there. Well, I don't need friends, but I'm willing to share this stuff. Yeah, friends are nice, but I'm not doing this for friends.
Right.
I'm really not doing this for popularity. I'm doing it because I believe that they need to be known. I'm doing this because the fact for the decades and decades of existence as we know it as, or even centuries. If you go back centuries, they were acknowledged. Now they're not. Don't you find that funny? I mean,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
nothing centuries ago. It was a
that's
big
right.
deal. It was posted in
The
major media worldwide, all the major
the
publications.
bones and stuff that they were finding, and even further back and further back, further back. You know,
Hmm.
the monsters, the lost cryptids. You know, we lost the names of all these things that were real that our ancestors knew of. The lake monster. You know, they called it by their name of the Sasquatch, the hairy man of the woods, of flying creatures, of different things. We all had names from different tribes and different cultures around the world, different time periods. They all had these names, and now modern times we had forgot. That's what the lost cryptids are. You know, and the conservatory is actually uh, as actually the definitions from as a Latin term, and it means to study them. Basically, it's a college of studying and debating. So that's what the name comes from. So yeah, Chad is full blown. I think they're there too, especially after this. This is very interesting. To me, it's just adding more and more. I'm excited because me and Chad and James have plans to. We're gonna go out more, and we're gonna go camping out there. We're gonna camp out there. Now, when Chad has gone there and camped before, like the 2 times he has had pretty incredible encounters. And in one of and you can hear about it a little bit in the video I'm about to drop. It's going to be called Bigfooting with Bob Deagle and Friends, and it's mostly going to be it's about our trip out and about some of Bob's stories. He's got a lot of them, but I'm going to Chad's area, so you guys can see all how we hung up all the stuff. And then maybe Chad, maybe I'll add your video to my video, or we can somehow do it to where people can
Sure.
watch at both the
They
same time, or you can drop it now. Don't matter.
Yeah, and you can
I
go
was excited.
just cut out the like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, because you did get some sounds that I kind of want to work on too. So I mean, I'm kind of busy with some different videos, but everything's gonna come out. You know, I was excited. I wanted to tell people about what we found because it's interesting. And when we go out there and we spend the night in this area, I feel we're gonna get activity, and especially because we keep going back. They've seen us a few times. They already know Chad, and they've seen me and James, a few times now. So at nighttime, I feel we're gonna get activity, and we're gonna film it, and we're gonna have night vision. I'll have my camera and stuff. We'll have
Digital
audio
audio.
running. We'll have a
Yep.
few audio recordings running, so we should be able to get some stuff. Now, Chad has had some crazy encounters at nighttime there, so we will have a
Well,
crazy experience, I'm
well,
sure.
James doesn't know it yet, man. So, um, Blake, you and I, we're camping over by the Impala. Okay.
That's one of the spots. We were
Yep.
thinking
And
a
then
few
we're
different
gonna no,
spots.
no, but we're gonna put James over there by that little nest thing. He's gonna camp over there all by himself. We'll give him a walkie-talkie, though.
How do you
Okay.
feel about that, James? Would you think I would do it? I would go
I
by
wouldn't.
myself instead.
Would
If
you,
I had
James?
walked,
Would you do it? No, here, no. This is a serious question because I wouldn't do it, and
I would do it.
I know this area. I wouldn't do it. James, would you do it? Would you sleep in that little nest where me and you walked in and found the acorns? Would you sleep in that?
No, that's a
no.
terrible idea. Especially like, all the
Blake,
experiences you've had there.
Blake, you really would, dude, man. I don't want
I
no
I
missing
would. I
no
mean,
missing 411 shit. Come on.
um, yeah, I probably wouldn't sleep. I'd probably be up all night, so I wouldn't be sleeping. But yeah, I probably would honestly because I want to get some great evidence. Now I don't plan on getting missing 411, so if they do try to do something, I'm gonna fight back. You know, uh,
They would. I don't think they would, but I think
no,
you would
no.
not
What
last
I
there.
think,
I think you'd
what I
come
think,
hiking out of there. You wouldn't make it all night.
think they get close. Well, I kind of want to stay in the area on a nice summer day without a fire, as we
In there. Dude, I'll help. I'll help you hang your hammock. Okay, me and James will go
Maybe a
stay by
hammock or
your
something.
tower.
Yeah.
I'll help
What
you
I'm
hang your hammock in there, and you go ahead and
Well,
you go
come on
ahead.
now. You gotta go outside of the box to get the evidence. It's been 50 years. We're still stagnant. If you want to we're gonna get the stuff. You gotta get out there, put your butt where your mouth is. It's been 50 years. I don't want to spend another 50 years the same old stuff.
You're right.
I have a feeling. Yeah. Why not? If we went out there and camped in that spot without a fire, I guarantee that they probably would get very close. Now, even with the fire, they're gonna get close. And the Impala spot, yeah, definitely gonna have a fire, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be warm enough where we don't have a fire. On a full moon, we can see still. Like I want to go out there on a full moon. I want to have fire, no fire, no. Because if the more you go out, the more maybe without the fire, it gets them more curious, more brave. Maybe they'll get really loud. Maybe they'll really get a lot louder, and there'll be great evidence. So I don't think they're gonna hurt us. I don't think they're gonna kidnap us, kill us, or
They're not gonna, but they're gonna. They can make you not feel right, and they can make you.
And we could go live too. So
okay,
we'll get something. If they get us and they hurt us and kill us, it'll be on Facebook Live. Our deaths will be all over Facebook. Make sure everyone share
James
it before they take it down.
James and I are going to help you hang your hammock out there in the den, and then me and James we're going to go make our camp over by the Impala. You just have fun in the den all by yourself. You have fun in there all by yourself all night long.
Maybe we'll see, but we're gonna do a few nights, so we're gonna do a couple different strategies. Maybe I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. There's plenty of time for us to strategize. There's plenty of us times, but you know what's coming up soon. If you want to get into it before last little minute is we got an expedition plan, and that is for northern Michigan. Where it'll be somewhere up in the north.
Manistee
Huron
National Forest.
Manistee Huron National Forest, which is huge. So we're going to be in there somewhere. And we have everything basically set up for the most part. I think me and Chad here soon are going to actually go there to scout around, pre-scout around, just to make sure where we plan to camp is safe and stuff, and not some big obstacle where we can't set up camp. So everything's set. We have everyone down pat. I think most of the people are going. I think some people need to just keep check schedules and stuff. But I think there's a few people who drop out, a few people who, things happen. It always happens. We have it planned.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we have it set large enough to where that if a couple people drop out, we still got a good number of us.
We got plenty. Yeah. So we have enough that we're going to actually do 2 camps. So we're going to actually have 2, maybe 3. I don't know. Maybe a small 2-man camp will be set up a day or 2. Who knows? Who knows? We got a lot of planning to do with all the people. We're gonna have 2 camps for sure. We're gonna be scouting around all day. We're gonna have a drone. The plan is that we're gonna fly this once the camps are set up. That first day, I think we're gonna be setting up camp, make everything cozy, and scouting around the area. Probably the next day, somewhere around lunch or so, after we've been out again, we're gonna fly this drone around the whole area, and hopefully that gets the Sasquatches to come closer, become curious, more than what they're going to be after seeing us and camping there. They're going to want to hopefully come in and see what we're doing. So hopefully the drone does that, and we're going to have all the equipment. We're going to be filming hopefully the entire time.
Night
And then nighttime,
vision, FLIR.
and at nighttime, yeah, we'll be having night vision and flare. So we'll be conducting night investigations on the trails and a little bit of off trail. So we're gonna have 2 different camps, and they might split off into multiple, maybe 2 or 3 man groups around their section of their area, their trails, and then we're gonna hopefully get them to come in. So when we all settle down in camp, that we have activity at night. You hear tree knocks and maybe they throw stuff at our tents. We're gonna have audio running. We're gonna do some different tricks. I don't think we're gonna gift any things by camp because we don't want bears
No,
or
we're not going to gift. If they want to come and raid our cooler,
yeah.
that's what they have.
Yeah,
They'll
and we're
have
gonna
to
set up
come.
different stuff. We're gonna have
Yeah.
cameras going. We're gonna try to hide some cameras. Maybe we're gonna
Oh
hide a
man, I
camera
might
inside
leave
a
a
cooler.
box. I might leave a box of Girl Scout cookies out. Come
We're gonna
on,
try to do
man.
something. The goal is to get evidence of Sasquatch and to have a fun time with everyone. We got
Absolutely.
we got the top Michigan researchers going. I would have to say I would say the top. I don't know how to say new this generation or whatever. I don't know.
We
We
have
got
a
a lot of
good
people
research
going.
group. We have a talented,
Yeah.
well-educated group of
Yes.
independent researchers that are going out here and we're doing this. It's going to be hardcore. This
That's
is
right.
no gravy train, man. This is going to be hardcore. We're going to smell like crap, man. We're going to be wiping our butts with leaves.
The plan is we're going to be camping off trail for 5 days, and we'll be roughing it. Yeah, we can make trips into town, get food and supplies, or anyone needs stuff. But where we're parking at and our camps are, it's going to be like 1,000, 1,200 yards away, at least. And the one camp is 2,200 yards away. To get
That's just to get to the car. That's just to get to the
camp.
car.
Yeah. So it's going to be a hike. It's a lot of hiking. It's going to be strenuous. And just living in camp, everyone's going to get tired and cranky and sore and little minor injuries. We got a nurse on staff. We got everyone's going to be everyone's good. Everyone has skills because we have Michigan researchers, independent researchers. We have supposed to be going now. Maybe they might drop out or some things come up, family issues, right? But so far we have Chuck Sutherland from Time Is Now. He's doing a Bigfoot conference here in June. It's in Ann Arbor. Check it out. Time Is Now. We got Bill Sowers. He's from Northern Michigan.
Higgins Lake.
Yeah, he gets. I did an interview with him. Works along with Chuck. They did a lot of good stuff, and he's a really good guy. I'm glad to have him along. He's supposed to be going. We have Ernest Fargo, which I just did an interview with him. He has a lot of wealth of knowledge. He has a really extensive library and track collection that he's
I love it. I love what I love about Ernie. What I love about Ernie is how thorough he is at looking at evidence and how he's not the first person to just accept this as Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's not gonna. He's a little skeptical minded, and we have and they're good big Michigan researchers right there. They're some of the top people right there for sure. We have some people that are not in the Bigfoot community either, that are coming all the way from Wisconsin actually, and they're one's ex-military, or I think they both might be ex-military, but one is basically they're both they're kind of on the edge. They like to believe they might have had some encounters, but they've never been on an expedition, or they don't really know anything really much about them. So we're bringing them along.
They're buying.
So it's going to be interesting.
They're gonna chip in technology.
Right, they have technology. They've dipped their feet into it, but I guess they've had some bad experiences with going out with people, because it happens. You know, some people. Sometimes you work with people, you go out and people spots, and people are people. You know, so they've had bad experiences. We're gonna take them out, have a good time, and I think it's been good. It's gonna be good because we don't have just Bigfoot people going. You know, we have people who don't know anything about Bigfoot, and then are a little bit, so they're going to be more skeptical. You know, they're going to be their perception and how they view things is going to be different than, say, me and Chad and Chuck and Ernie and stuff. You know, Ernie's going to be more skeptical. It's going to be a good perception and way to go about this. And I'm going to be filming. Hopefully, we should have enough tech that everyone can film all the time, most of the time.
They all have attributes that they're bringing,
yes.
though. I mean, we have a nurse and her friend who's probably got, I don't know what she has, but we have a legitimate nurse coming that's interested.
Yeah, you know, we're going to be safe.
The guys from Wisconsin, they are actually buying equipment. Then now we also have my friend Kevin that is locked in.
That's right.
Professional photographer, professional drone pilot.
Yep, he's the drone guy. Yep.
And he's, you know, he's not a researcher, but he's into this. He's into
exactly.
Spent his whole life, and he wants to learn more and see more about this. So he's excited to go.
Exactly, and I think all the perspectives that we are all going to bring to the table is going to be interesting. And we hope to get some good stuff. You know, we hope to get some evidence for everyone. You know, audio and video evidence is what we're really hoping for. We're really hoping for good video evidence because we're gonna have, like we said earlier, you know, we have flare. We're gonna have, or not flare. Well, yeah, some flares, but thermal stuff. I don't know what brands everyone has.
There's gonna
thermal.
There's gonna be flare. There's gonna be night. Yeah,
some good stuff. You know, we got a drone. Yeah. We should be able to catch stuff on film if they come close enough, and we think we can get them close enough with some strategies that we have been thinking about, and hopefully as the teams do their own thing in the camps, because I'll be overseeing stuff, so I think I might be bouncing around a bit, but you guys, the team leaders, will be independent, and whatever goes on the situational time, you know, they got to make situational decisions about what they do. So it'll be very interesting on whatever happens, and we'll be filming, and hopefully we can make into a fun documentary, or at least a fun YouTube video you guys can watch. You know, I mean, I'm not a professional. I'm gonna try to make it really good for everyone. You know, it's a big expedition, so hopefully it'll be a big documentary type of video that people will enjoy. Because I'll be enjoying it. I'm going to enjoy every little part of it. Even if nothing happens, I will enjoy every part of it. And that's what it's about, too. But I will enjoy even more if we get evidence. Well, it's been an hour, guys. Is there anything you guys want to say about anything we talked about? From, you know, the apples, the scouting trip, the expedition up north. I know, James, you are invited. You might not be able to make it, but you are definitely invited, of course. You know that.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about, give a shout out to your channel.
I did want to mention one thing.
Yeah.
In my video, when me and Chad went back to the area, I did capture a knock in the footage.
That's right. I forgot to say that. What is the video called? What is your YouTube? There's so much that have happened. It's a lot of exciting stuff, Sid. And I you know, I'm literally busy all the time with stuff I'm working on.
Yeah.
What's the video called? What's your channel called?
Let me find it real quick. It's called Color Kid.
Yes.
And the video is called researching and in Lower Michigan with Blake and Chad.
Right, and that is the follow-up to the scout trip video that I had made with Chad and James. I can't really remember the title of it either, right? But it's on our YouTube.
You
check out
called it day trip. You called it day trip with Chad and James.
Yeah,
is what you titled your. But I got to give a shout out to Day Trip with Chad and James. I think Blake did a really good job. But I also got to give a shout out to James. He did a really good job on the video that he put together. It's not a long video. But he actually really did a good job. So I highly recommend.
Right.
Check it out. Why don't you post the link in here, James?
Yeah, you can post it into. I'm gonna post a link to the YouTube, but it's gonna be a couple days.
Yeah.
If James, you want to post your YouTube to my Facebook group, go ahead. Yeah, I'll definitely link it into this Facebook video. So you guys can check that out. Check out his other channel, Swift Rage. He has some Bigfoot videos on there too.
I found how to put a playlist on my new channel.
There you go. Check out his new channel of all of his stuff.
I put my other Bigfoot videos.
Now he has captured a knocks on those other videos too. Now I remembered right. You had captured a knock when you and Chad went out there, and Chad will be releasing his video where he went out there, caught a knock on it too. I'm gonna try to work on it. So the next week or two, expect some videos, and my guest hopefully next week will be Chuck himself, Chuck Sutherland, the famous man himself. Time is now. Yes, he's a busy guy. He's a busy guy. We're hoping we'll get it done. So if not, I'll have someone else, or I'll jump on myself, or I actually might drop some another video. I got another video I just put out. Squatch and Just Get Out. I got part 2.
I saw that you're in a canoe.
Kayak, yes. It was fun actually. Wasn't that cold? It was fun. I have a part 2 to that. It's actually a completely different day, completely different setting, but I talk about a few things, and so I'm just waiting to drop that in a couple days, and maybe if I don't have a guest for next Saturday, I will start a watch party. Maybe that's something we could start doing, a watch party in here, or
a group. Do a group discussion.
A group watch. A group discussion watch party.
People are gonna watch, and you're gonna add. How many people can you add? And we all take questions.
Everyone in. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
What are you gonna add 6 in here or what?
6 in here. 5 guests, including myself.
Yeah, so you add them, but other people can watch and they can type in questions, and maybe it's just on a spur of emergency.
I was also thinking about doing a watch party in the group. I got a video of a trip I went, and I had them. It was really weird. I don't know if that's infrasound or what, but it was the fuller version of that, and the shorter versions are Bigfoot Followed Me Out of the New Area Part 1 and 2. I have the full day version, basically is big 45-minute version that I may do a watch party with, so we can watch it, and then when the part happens, you guys can see everything that happens and see them follow me out. So there are a few things that we got going on. So, well, guys, I appreciate you guys jumping on.
No problem, bro.
It's always a pleasure, and going out with you guys to the areas. We plan on hitting up Chad's area and some new areas too. We got a lot of stuff planned actually, so continue to watch the channel content, join the Facebook group, check out James's channel, look for Chad up in the Facebook groups. He's always around. You'll find him. So everyone have a good night. Thanks again. Till next time.